This is the time of year when most people are working on their summer bods, but not the fatties you're gonna see on this list. And by fatties, I mean larger than regular individuals.
In an industry that glorifies physical perfection, who's gonna give glory to the gluttonous guys?
That would be us. Hey, I'm Stuttering Craig.
And I'm Nervous Nick.
For ScrewAttack's Top 10 Fat Guys in Video Games.
Number 10.
You know you've got a body that others recognize when you can do the equivalent of a Who's That Pokemon, and any gamer worth their salt will know exactly who you are.
Imagine Theodore Roosevelt feels an evil genius instead of the president, flew a spaceship instead of rode a horse, and had some form of weird, bizarre muscular atrophy that only affected his arms and legs, and you basically got Dr. Robotnik. And for all the robot technology he's personally developed, you'd think there'd be like a treadmill in there somewhere. I mean, he makes animals run in treadmills in his robots, and he can't do it? What a dick.
Alternatively, he's also known as Eggman for crying out loud. If that doesn't say something about his physique's reputation, nothing does.
Number 9.
Just because you don't obey your own nutritional rules doesn't mean you can't make others follow them. And I'm looking at you, Doc Lewis.
A
Fatty.
former heavyweight boxing champion, the one who pushed Little Mac to victory against the legendary Mike Tyson, he even created the world-famous Star Punch himself.
And now he eats dark chocolate. Why's it gotta be dark chocolate, Doc? I like strawberry chocolate. What about vanilla? You gotta stick with the dark every single time? Why you gotta be all racist about it? Don't be a racist chocolatier.
Number 8.
You may not remember much about the Lost Vikings, but let me give you a little refresher course. This is Olaf. He's the fat one.
He's fat, and he's also got an awesome shield that blocks everything, acts as a platform for others, and lets him defy the laws of physics by allowing the chunkiest member of the bunch to gently float down for a soft landing.
I mean, forget that stick-figure Captain America shield. Plus, he's got a small shirt that only accentuates his gut. I'd like to rub it.
Number 7.
Now, if you really want to accentuate your gut, you can always ask the Left 4 Dead boomer for some fashion tips. I mean, what kind of shirt stops at your boobs? Brother, that's called a bra.
But the source of the boomer's pudginess isn't fat like your traditional chubby person. He's basically a walking water balloon. But instead of water, it's vomit. And,
Yeah, it covers the survivors and, makes hordes of zombies eat them alive.
Obviously, the boomer can be a threat, so much so that the government thought it worthwhile to weaponize the boomer bile in Left 4 Dead 2.
If he wasn't so easy to kill, he would have been high on this list.
Number 6.
See, I'm a big-ass man in a pea-brain world.
Here's somebody you may not know much about. Pigsy from Enslaved Odyssey to the West is an adventurer who builds things out of the junkyard he lives in. High-tech things, like a grappling hook hand. He's sort of like Spencer from Bionic Commando, but a Spencer you'd like to hang out with on a Friday evening.
If your idea of hanging out means eating a ton of food and looking at porn together, then sure.
I don't see the problem with that.
But the most impressive thing about Pigsy is how he was smart enough to construct a plan to take down the government with only 3 people, and it worked.
Yeah, but he had to kill himself to make it
No,
work.
Craig, don't spoil the endings.
They didn't even know who he was to begin with. It's been like 2 years. If you haven't played it now, you're not going to play it anyway.
That's what I said, and when I did it, I got in trouble.
No spoilers, shut up. 2 years, get over it.
Number 5.
Well, Pixie's cool, let's face it. Being a crocodile is a lot cooler than being a pig.
And being the king of the pirate crocodiles is even cooler than that.
King K. Rool can use his own girth to drop cannonballs from the sky. Then he'll straight up throw himself at you.
Stop spoiling games!
1993 called Shut Up.
And even when the credits start rolling, he doesn't care. King K. Rool decides when the game's over.
What a cool, fat motherfucker.
Number 4.
If a very bizarre form of muscular atrophy can explain Dr. Robotnik's build, then how could you possibly give credence to Darunia's?
Muscular arms, pudgy gut. I'd guess that he consumes so much beer that his arms get a killer workout from lifting all the mugs. Now, being the big boss of the Gorons by itself is not a bad title to have. But big old Darunia also tried taking down the dragon Volbagia with his bare hands. It doesn't matter that he failed, just the fact that he attempted it straight up manly.
Or just full-blown stupidity, but all the same, just because the Goron King has some weight on him doesn't mean he's not an amazing dancer.
I love it when he dances. Just look at him go, it makes me laugh.
You sound like an old man when you laugh like that.
Number 3.
This is one fat dude who doesn't follow the fat dude rules. Despite his size, Rufus from Street Fighter 4 is actually a speed character.
Complete with annoying dive kicks, no less. But regardless, Rufus is still something of a leap forward for chunky people everywhere just for breaking the stereotype of all large characters being slow heavy hitters.
He also broke another fighting game stereotype. Fighting games in particular are known for being more, shall we say, jiggly than other genres. But when it comes to the bouncy bounce, Rufus, yeah, he takes the cake.
And the other cake, and the other cake, and the other cake.
Number 2.
The world's #1 portly plumber is the gamer's champion. How cool is it that gaming's golden boy wasn't some ripped macho man? Mario wasn't afraid of his flabbiness.
And then out of nowhere came Wario, who made him look skinnier than the flagpoles he jumped to. When his waistline expands, it just means he's more powerful, baby. It's true. Wario has successfully weaponized his flatulence, his farts, his boom boom at his box.
Wario's lust for food is only outmatched by his desire for more money that he spends on things like motorcycles. Which he just eats anyway, so I guess he does like to eat more.
I think that bears repeating. Wario eats motorcycles. Do you see why he's number 2? Let's just move on to the countdown. Number 10, Dr. Robotnik.
Number 9, Doc Lewis.
Number 8, Olaf.
Number 7, the Boomer.
Number 6, Pigsy.
Number 5, King K. Rool.
Number 4, Darunia.
Number 3, Rufus.
And number 2, motorcycle-eating Wario. The dude eats motorcycles.
It's number 1.
An entire country's economy is being crippled due to inner-city trade being put to a halt. Entire cities are inaccessible. Nobody can get in, nobody can get out. And anybody who tries only runs into the same problem as the last guy. There's a giant blob of a being blocking a 3-way road.
Snorlax does exactly 2 things in its life. Eat and sleep. Eat and sleep. It absolutely will not move except to do one of those 2 things. Unless you happen to be playing a very catchy tune. What is it with video game fat guys and their music?
I have no idea, Craig.
That's funny, Nick.
Snorlaxes are capable of eating and digesting anything that exists. In fact, they somehow consume 900 pounds every single day. And what goes in must come out.
You're talking about poop, Nick. I got it.
Jokes.
Yes, poop. Once you capture Snorlax, you captured a very powerful creature, capable of healing itself by doing what it does best. Plus, in the Smash Brothers games, as soon as you saw that sucker pop out of a Pokeball, your #1 priority for the next 3 seconds was move, 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 get out the way, get out, move, 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 move!
Obviously, we haven't been ordering this list from fat to fattest necessarily, but even if it were, Snorlax could possibly still make a solid #1. Or #2. All over the place. Poop jokes.
Why is it always going to be about poop, Nick?